Hello, my name is Koshama Taylor, and this is part two of my professional deposition. What deposition do you possess that makes you a successful teacher? The deposition that I possess that makes me a successful teacher is my empathy, my positive perception of others, and my positive perception of myself. When it comes to empathy, I'm able to empathize with all of my students as well as my parents. I don't put them all into one box and say, well, these are the rules and we must stick to these rules. I'm able to see that Johnny fits this rule, but Susie needs a different set of rules. And the reason why Susie needs a different set of rules is because X, Y, or Z. I'm able to see black, white, and gray, which I think is to my advantage because most teachers just see black and white. And when it comes to our students and our families and our parents and ourselves, there are some gray areas. So it's very important to be able to empathize with your students and your parents. For example, homework is a big one that I emphasize on. There's a lot of students that their primary responsibility is going to school, coming straight home after school, and raising their siblings. There's also students that when it comes to school, that's the only lights that they have, unfortunately. When they go home, there is no power. So I'm able to empathize with those students because I do grade homework. However, I don't give those students a zero. I designate time where they are allowed to do homework in the classroom. They are allowed to ask for extra help because they're not getting that help at home because mommy works three jobs or there's no mom at home, no dad at home, no guardian at home, or they're just simply home but don't care. But so I emphasize with those kids. My positive perception of others. I believe in the capability and potential and worth of my students. I believe that their confidence and trust in the worth, capacity, and ability of the learner for a change is actually key to learning. In addition, I perceive other individuals from a positive point of view. So when I'm talking to my students, when I'm talking to my parents, I come from a positive point of view. I don't go in, well, Johnny can't add. We go in, well, Johnny has one-on-one correspondence and we're working on him adding, but we're going to be positive about it. I won't say, well, this is the second grade and he still can't add 2 plus 2. He's never going to get it, Mom. There's something wrong with him. Well, that's not very positive. I don't like that approach because I believe every child can learn. They learn in their own way, in their own time, but they will learn, and with hard work, dedication, and commitment, they will get it. Positive perception of self. I normally believe in my capability, potential, and worth. Thus, I have a self concept which is positive, fundamental, and offers me the general sense of the self adequacy. Essentially, I am capable and dependable as I always try to create more time for my students. In addition, I normally honor my internal integrity and dignity beside holding positive expectations for my own actions. B. What deposition do you need to work on to grow as an educator? I think I need to grow more on feedback. I give a lot of instant verbal feedback, and that's excellent. Kids need that instant feedback. But I need to grow more in written feedback for record keeper purposes. For those kids who can go back and read that feedback and be able to make the connections and make their corrections on their own. Because as good as verbal feedback is, kids tend to forget. If it's written, even if they forget it, they can always go back to it. They can refer to it later on. Part C. What are the expectations of a professional in the field of education and how would you uphold these expectations? As a professional in the field of education, I am expected to maintain a classroom that is well organized. I have to have excellent classroom management skills. I'm a firm believer in that. Because if you can be the best teacher, but if you have no classroom management skills, how are you going to teach if it's chaotic? So I'm expected to have classroom management skills. I'm expected to have good record keeping, produce successful students, practice self-management attributes, and keep concepts simple for students to easily understand. Now that's a big one because some things go over their heads, but it's up to me to bring it back down so they can understand it and help them scaffold it back up. I can uphold these expectations by ensuring that the learners are well behaved while in the classroom and that they follow rules and regulations of the school. Being consistent is key. Also, I will ensure that I teach my students appropriately by keeping the concept as simple as possible so that they can understand and apply them, by attending professional development, and by studying and practicing and keeping my lesson plans up to date. It's never a good thing to come in unprepared or not to know the lesson yourself. Thank you.